1, 2. 1, 2. Main screen turn on. All systems nominal. I believe we are ready. Hey everybody. Welcome to my stream. This is ASP Caswell here. What's my introduction again? I forgot what it was. Well, anyways. Oh, sweet. So it is still working. That's great. Last time I did that, it just actually stopped working. Like the magic conch. The Uber... Yes. This, by the time the stream is over, I'm gonna be mega dead. Uber corpse maker. The corpse maker is me in this situation. I'm creating my own corpse. I'm plotting my own demise here. This is gonna be mega fun. Hella fun? No, I'm not the killer. I'm the killee. I'm the one getting killed here. You're the killer. Well, not in this situation. You're not the killer here. But the horror movie villains are the killers. Now I'm gonna be the one getting killed. Pow! Yep. Finger pistols. I thought you had a ray gun. Isn't that how it works? Oh wait, you decided to kill horror movie villains in a different way. That's fine. Also, welcome, Chirame. Good to have you here, and welcome, Momomo. I think I have not said welcome to you. The battery's empty? Oof. It happens. Well, I hope electric chargers are aplenty where you are. Sure as hell not here. It's funny. Nah. Live on the dark side of the moon. Oof. That's a tricky one. Solar panels? Oh. Self-sufficient. Sounds good. Working good. That's good. I'm gonna prank call you at some point. I'm gonna say, are your solar panels running? And then you're gonna say, yes, they are. And then I'm gonna say, you'd better go catch them. And it's gonna be hilarious and everyone's gonna laugh. Especially me. It's the ultimate joke. It can't be helped. That's how it is. You'd better go catch them. And if you got some sunshine. Well, it is the dark side of the moon. Dark side. Whoops. God. The chat pops over. Alright. You know, I will start the presentation thingy. I have some disclaimers to say. Why did no one tell me the dark side would be this dark? My dude, it is in the name. My brother in space. It's right there. Dark side of the moon. My brother in tentacles? My brother in Cthulhu? Metaphorical? A lot of people... Well, I guess you won't be the first, huh? We call it like... I did not watch Transformers: The Dark Side of the Moon. A Dead Sea. Right. Why do they call it the Dead Sea? Oh, maybe it's because people float on the water, like dead bodies that float on the water? Which would coincide with the spoopy month. Dead people. How could it be dead? Dead-filled sea. Oh. Maybe it was dead-filled sea, but people like got tired of saying 3 words. So they said Dead Sea. You know how sometimes places they get like a place name as a placeholder, holder, and it just sticks. Like there's a city called Belgrade in Serbia. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Serbia from outer space, but that city was basically called Biograd because of the city walls were white stone. White stone is basically Biograd. Grad, I think, is stone and Bio is white. That situation. Or something along those lines. I'm not sure. And then people just kept, like, either mispronouncing it or just calling it that. So locals call it Biograd. Outsiders call it Belgrade. And that's the story of how White Stone City became Belgrade. Belgrade, even. They say Belgrade, you know? So yeah. Just a little fun fact. Ugh. All right. Let the games begin. Yo, Bunkum. Thanks for coming. Where is it? Oh, yeah. Welcome to my presentation. Please krill me as inefficiently as possible by Ace P. Caswell. That's me, your host, Ace P. Caswell. Click. Oh yeah. About the one being killed. That's me. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not sure if this is actually interesting. I guess some preface to me liking horror movies is basically me watching AVGN with a buddy of mine. So we just watched AVGN, then we saw the episodes about, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street and the Jason Voorhees episode, Friday the 13th. And we decided, you know what, we should just watch all those movies. And then we did. And since then, we just kept watching more horror movies week by week for years. So I've watched over 100, maybe even 200 by now. A lot. A whole lot. So that's why I know a lot about them. Oh yeah, disclaimer. You're a chicken? I understand. It's okay. But they're not for everybody, that's for sure. So, disclaimer. This presentation is not going to show any horrific imagery, but I will be talking about horrific things. So keep this in mind if you get squeamish while thinking horrible things. Refer back to my saucer. And another disclaimer, I don't actually want to die. This is solely for the fun and enjoyment of the horror genre. And a third one, I have used some AI-generated arts for this presentation. This is purely for added amusement. Not yet. Optimistic, aren't we? Yeah, it's okay. You can seethe if you'd like. Okay. So, we're gonna start with some really classic ones. How's the audio? Okay, it's okay. Killers and their ways. So yeah, how I started this was basically we're going to show a slide for each one of these. I'm going to talk about what they do, things they're known for, and what they hate, and then how I'd like them to kill me according to that. Yeah, this was made using Google Slides. No Office on this computer. And well, it's fine. We'll just keep on going. So we're going to start off with Jason here. Jason Voorhees. He's from the Friday the 13th movie series, which spans a lot of films. I'm not sure if Jason X was the 10th one. That was the one where he's in outer space after he was cryo-freezed. It might be the 10th one. But even beyond that, he was also in like a crossover movie. Yeah, Jason made it to outer space. Jason is like straight from the 70s. I'm not sure if the first movie is sort of canon because the first movie was kind of weird. I don't want to spoil it for you, but like Jason as we know him, excuse me. How does a serial killer go to space? I'll get to that. Jason as we know him, astronaut. Jason as we know him, it basically began from the second movie where he started killing all those teenagers having sexy times. And in Jason X, which may or may not be the 10th movie, he was accidentally frozen in some freezer for hundreds of years. And then they took that thing to space on a spaceship. Like a Nostromo type. Like a big one. And then he got unfrozen. And then he started killing everyone there in outer space. It was pretty cool. I like that a lot. It's actually one of my favorites. Like, the favorite movies? My favorite movies from this series would be this one, Jason X. Well, it's not this one. This is, I think, from the third one? Either the third one or the one after. Basically, in the third one, it wasn't even Jason, technically. It was a guy who pretended to be Jason. But that's... no, it doesn't matter. So yeah, Jason X and Jason Takes Manhattan are my favorites. I already mentioned this in the past in a different person's stream. But yeah, one of my favorite deaths would be in Jason Takes Manhattan. Because in there... he just punches a dude's head off, like square off his head and into a basket, scoring 3 points. That was so great. He's so cool. So yes, about Jason, his weapons, abilities, and dislikes. So his main classic weapon is a machete. I think it started from the second one, but it doesn't really matter. He usually kills people with on-site procurement weapons, or not even weapons, just things he finds on hand, on site. So for example, fishing spear, sleeping bags, like at some point a girl just, you know, she said, she thought to herself, I'm just gonna close this sleeping bag off me and maybe he won't notice I'm there. And he noticed she's there, so she just took her with the sleeping bag and all and just bashed her against a tree. That was really cool. So yeah, axes, shears, spanners, frying pans, corkscrews, pitchforks, whatever he can find. Now, Jason has this classic horror movie teleport thing. You may have seen it in Mortal Kombat X. From Death Battle? I think I have not watched that one. If I have, I don't remember anything from that. Who was he against? That's interesting to know. What was he? Oh yeah, the horror movie villain teleport. So basically, to add some scariness, they do like cuts between places sometimes where they don't show him for a while. And then suddenly he's in a closet somewhere. Michael Myers or another killer. Michael Myers versus... oh, really? Well, that's interesting. Their powers are very similar. They're not exactly powers. They just keep getting... well, sort of undead. Oh, yeah. Like, there was the crossover movie, Jason and Freddy. I think it was called Jason versus Freddy. Where it's Freddy Krueger versus Jason. Freddy basically revives Jason somehow. Or... I know there was like just a lightning bolt coming from the sky to where Jason was dead and buried. And then Jason just gets revived from that. And then things happen. Michael Myers. Sturdy, but also slightly mortal. Yeah, they're slightly mortal. I guess that's a good way of saying it. You can hit him. He bleeds. But he's very sturdy. And he just doesn't want to get killed. He just doesn't get killed. So yeah, teleport. The thing he hates is usually teens or camp counselors. That's the classic one. you know, just having sexy times, because his backstory is that Jason himself was sort of killed somehow when he was a kid, because his camp counselors were not watching him properly. So his mom hates them, and she keeps telling him in his head as his mind voice, kill them. And so he does. He does what his what his mother says. He's a mama's boy, basically. Which Freddy used against him, by the way. He used his dream powers to make Jason dream that his mother is telling him to do stuff. So yeah, this is one of the AI images created. Okay, how do I get killed? So Jason is a pretty funny guy altogether. He has some really amusing body setups and some scary "boo, here I am" moments. Should I move the chat a bit? Let me see. I'll just keep it there. I'll just make it smaller, maybe. Yeah. So yes, assuming I am a character in the movie, what I would like to happen is I would like my character to find another character's dead body. Obviously in a very funny or scary setup. So yeah, Jason basically, once he kills someone, you don't see it happen. You don't see him do anything to the body on screen. But when another character finds a dead body, that dead body is like doing something weird. For example, another character would open a closet, like a wardrobe, and the dead character would be like hung off the clothing rack or whatever is there. Another example would be like a garage, where a character would come to the garage and the character would be hanging off some, I don't know, beam or something that's there. Somehow he always knows where the other characters will find the bodies. Maybe he doesn't know. But the fact remains, we see it as the viewers. So first I'd like to find that. That'd be fun. Now, once I find the body, Jason should already be in the area. I don't know if you know, but Jason has this very nice theme. When he's in the area, you will hear a slight... Oh, let me do the little echo reverb. Like that. So yes, I'd like to hear that in the background. Now, a themed death. A themed death would start with some sort of horror pun. What is a horror pun? That's basically what I called it. For example, a character asks, "Where's the corkscrew?" Which leads to Jason stabbing their hand with a corkscrew, then finishing them off with something else, like a knife or something. That happened, by the way. This is a thing that happened. I would call this a sort of... I call this a horror pun. Because there's like a question, then a payoff. Yeah, he's a genuine prankster. He's like he's a precious little guy. Now, in universe, I am sure he doesn't actually mean to be this very funny prankster, but that's what it comes off as. So, what would he kill me with? Well, if we're talking about my environment, I'm not sure where I would be in this situation. Assuming it would be, I don't know, related to what I do or things I have. Maybe a game CD or something from... I'm a sort of a treasure goblin when it comes to deluxe editions of video games, for example, and other such things. So maybe something along those lines. Like, for example, like if I were to pre-order the limited run games version of Persona 3 Portable, they have the Seize gun there. I don't know, just stick it in my mouth and shoot me with it, though it doesn't even work. I don't know, something like that. Something like that. So, for example, in this situation, I just put like game CD, just punch it into my mouth. Ow. And then just add some more stuff. Because the first thing, the first pun thing, it doesn't kill you. So afterwards, either punch my heart out and hold it like a Mortal Kombat character, which he did. Or, you know, just like slice me a bit with his machete. Because, you know, this machete, he can bring it down and it's just drop a piano on you from above. Honestly, I believe he has dropped things from above before. I didn't finish the whole kill compilation thing. I watched the little kill compilation. Whoops. To get reminded of the different deaths he did. Excuse me. But I believe he has dropped things on people. If not, then oh well. And then after that, after I get sliced a bit or, you know, punched my heart out, there should be a window in the area, and I'd like him to throw me out the window and onto something. Because that's always funny. This happens multiple times. And sometimes people get thrown off like the second floor and onto a car. And that's just fun. And that's how I'd like to go. And that's Jason. Next. Michael Myers. Michael Myers is a classic villain as well. His classic weapon is just a kitchen knife, which he would usually find in an actual kitchen. That's what happens when he first starts killing people. In the first movie, as a kid, he murders his sister with a kitchen knife while wearing a clown costume. It's because it's Halloween. And then when he comes back from the insane asylum, he just finds a kitchen knife in the suburbs and then just starts doing that again to people. So yeah, classic kitchen knife. He also has basically inhuman strength. It's not exactly inhuman, but he's very strong. He can lift people by like with one hand, like choke hold one hand, and he lifts you up like, let's say about 20 centimeters off the ground. Just holds you up against the wall, then stabs you with his other hand, which is holding the kitchen knife. And one of his other powers is just resurrection. You thought you killed him. You saw his body limp. And bam, he's just up again. He does this thing where, you know, he's lying limp and then bam, it's like he lifts his upper body. Hello, I'm okay. He really hates babysitters, Laurie Strode in particular, and I guess just his family members for some reason. Yeah, he lifts. I don't know what he did, but he just lifts. I don't know why he hates his family, but well, that's how it is. So, how would I want to die? The thing about Mikey, he's just pretty straightforward. He's like, no funny stuff. He sees you, he kills you. Even if he doesn't have anything on him, just drop an anvil on you from above. Sure, I don't think he does. I think he would be not a person to drop things on people. He comes to you and then he kills you with the thing that he has in his hand. Looney Tunes. So yeah, he doesn't leave much room for playing around. So ideally, I'd be a part of a chase scene in the second movie, and also in the second remake movie. There's a big hospital area. Movies just take place over a hospital. Like in the first movies, the 1 and 2, they're basically a part of the same night that happens. Like Michael Myers escapes, and then Laurie Strode is in the hospital, and then he's after her again in the hospital, and then he kills people in the hospital. Nurses, doctors, what have you. So yeah, ideally it'll be like a large place that leaves like a lot of fun to be had. He's just basically rude. He stops people while they're, you know. I guess Jason would be kind of rude as well, since he also stops people from having sexy times, but I guess that's his thing. That's their thing as horror movie villains. There's always something. Yeah, yeah. I actually would die if I went to get groceries. If I had like something I found in the store, like even a little, like a corkscrew or a small knife that I needed, you just take it from me, kill me with it, and just keep on going. Wonder or View from Jojo. Oh, I'm not sure which part is it from. I'd only read up to 3, and the beginning of 4. 8? Oof. I only know Soft and Wet. Wonder of You. Let me look this up real quick. Where's my browser? There it is. How much you mind spoilers? Not much. I'm not really intending on reading part 8, to be honest. Wonder of You, Jojo. If you chase him, bad stuff happens to you and you die. You know what? That would fit because in that movie series, there is a doctor. A doctor, I forgot what his name is, but he was basically Michael Myers' psychoanalyst in the asylum or something. I don't know. He knows a lot about Michael Myers. He appeared in multiple movies. I think his last one. Well, I don't know what one. I don't know which one the last one was, but he dies in the end. Eventually, it can't be helped. Bad things happened. He dies at the end. Well, it's a horror movie. People are gonna die. I would not consider this a spoiler. If you're going to watch a horror movie, rest assured, multiple people are gonna die. If people don't die, it's probably a thriller instead. Oh, wait. There is the Babadook. Let's not think about that for now. Anyways. So yeah, he just doesn't leave much room for playing around. Like you said, he's pretty rude. Laurie Strode may or may not be there. It does not matter. I'm on his way to her. It doesn't matter which character you are, because you are just a little piece that's gonna die on his way to Laurie Strode. That's his thing. Laurie Strode or distant family members. And I'm saying different family members because there were some sort of alternate timeline movies where they just kept on going. I think there are like 3 timelines right now as far as Halloween, the movie series, is concerned. There's one where he finds a distant relative sister of his, and then things happen, and he chases her to kill her. And there's one with Laurie Strode, and there's another one with Laurie Strode. So yeah, 3 timelines. So you're on his way to her. So I'd like to be on his way to her, at least. Something like that. Close quarters combat is basically useless. If you look it up, basically as soon as you swing something at him, he just counters with a one-handed neck choke or whatever he has. Excuse me. Whatever he has on. You're just gonna get paralyzed, swung, knifed. So in terms of like a fun little death, I would say maybe I'll just get like stabbed against a big fuse box. This has happened before. Not to me, like in the movies, I mean. And then I'll just have him stare at me while I'm getting stab-trocuted, which is stabbed and electrocuted at the same time. Fun. And that's probably the ideal way to go. Okay, if it's not that, I'm just gonna get stabbed. Like random stabbed. It's kind of boring. Okay. Next up. Jigsaw. But it's not Freddy yet. So, Jigsaw. Jiggy J. Saw. John Kramer. He doesn't do the killing himself. It's basically killer escape rooms. You might be familiar with the concept. Escape rooms are like a room with riddles in it, which you have to solve according to the time limit, and then you get to escape. That's basically how it is. So, Saw, yeah, he's basically the first horror VTuber, basically. You know, because when he puts people in the escape rooms, he doesn't talk to him, he doesn't talk to them with his own, you know, face. He uses this little jiggy persona. Yeah. He hates people who don't cherish their lives. That's a major thing about him, very plot-centered. And he has vendetta against people who wronged him or wronged others when it comes to prolonging their lifespan somehow. In case you don't know, John Kramer himself, the guy behind the kayfabe, he has cancer, like a brain tumor or something. And well, there's a new movie coming up soon, which is basically, I believe, between 1 and 2, which shows the specific plot line of him taking revenge against the doctors who said, no, you can't live. You only have like 8 months. That's how it is. Deal with it. And they did it for profit or something. So yeah, he hates people who use other people's situations, like their life situation, and when their lives are on the line, to get profit because of his situation, which is basically that. Because people profited off him being a cancer patient. So, how do I want to die? Well, let me see. I want to play a game. He would want to play a game. I'm in the room. Probably with more people. Maybe random people. Maybe it's like, I don't know, something centric about me. Like, I don't know. Something like that. There has to be more people in there. There has to be a reason he's making a game. I mean, there have been single player quote unquote games. I guess we'll just I call these games from now on. But those are, well, you can see them a little bit in the beginning of the movies. I think it would be just more fun when there are more people around. I really just want John Saw to drop me on on a piano that explodes on the slightest touch because I drank a Monster Energy once. You have drank Monster Zero Ultra Energy. You have not cherished your life. Now you will come to understand what happens when you insert chemicals into your body. And then you just get injected with all sorts of chemicals, and then there's a time limit, and then you have to solve something to get the actual antidote to live. Ace Jigsaw collab, let's go! So, I don't want to die a short death. Like, Jigsaw has gun traps. Like, you turn a lever, or you look through a keyhole. Not a keyhole. Yeah, I guess there's like almost like a keyhole. Or like those holes they have in doors. I forgot what. Peephole? I don't know. Like that. Then like, bam, gun. You're dead. That's kind of boring. I don't want that. Build a real life death gun game. Death run game. Well, that's this. That's what we're gonna do. All for me. So, what I want to have, for the hell of it, let's say I have the classic jaw-destroying head trap. I have to be honest, I don't think he ever actually killed anyone with that. You have to b-hop through it or you die. Oh no. I only tried bunny hopping in like Half-Life 1 for a little bit. I'm not actually good at that. I'm gonna die. Well, that's fine. That's the aim here. I'm gonna die. Head trap. So yeah, the classic jaw-destroying head trap. I'm not sure, I don't know if you're familiar with it. Basically, I think they showed like movie 1. Or maybe movie 2. Basically, it's like a big metal contraption, a very menacing looking contraption they put on your head, which is connected to your jaw and set to a timer. So if you don't find the key or the thingy to stop the timer, it's basically gonna snap your jaw off. Like bam. It's off. And I believe maybe one person died to that. I'm not sure. I don't remember seeing anyone get killed. He only showed it in his like VTuber screen, like on a model, like on a mannequin, to demonstrate it. So I have it on. Let's say I have the jaw-destroying head trap on. It could be fun if every room I had to go through would wear me down little by little. I will literally be a bloody mess by the end. But the head trap would stay on. Every time I finish a room, the trap timer stops for a while and scares me by starting up again. Exciting. So, I get to the last room. I die at the last minute because of something stupid. And then, for overkill, the head trap detonates. This happens. Well, maybe not specifically the overkill thing, because people just die and then that's it. But yeah, when they get to the last room, something happens. Either in the second movie or the third one. I think it's the third one in particular. There were like nurses and the detectives, like in a weird cat and mouse game. Detectives were trying to look for either family members or something else, which Jigsaw has in his game. And the nurses are still in the game. And then something happens, and then just the detective shoots the last survivor for some reason, something stupid. You know, death by police, I guess. Well, so I guess that would happen. I don't really want that to happen, but it's just gonna happen. That's how it is. Yeah, I know. It kind of sucks, but that's how it is. There was this Saw 4. What happened in that? Is that the one where the last guy... Wait, no, with the fat guy? Was it the fat guy who was tied and then the two big ice blocks just clashed on his head, exploding it? Is that the one? It could be that. If it's not that, then which one? Oh, yeah, okay. I think I remember feeling that way too. Amanda. Hello, Amanda. Killed his wife and died. I think, was it the second one or third one where they had a guy who was a genuine wife beater? Maybe I have to rewatch them. That could be fun. Yeah, it happens. It's like at some point it gets to like this point where if you slightly don't cherish your life, Jigsaw is after you. Like, I don't give a fuck what you did. I don't care how many people you saved. You didn't cherish your life. Game. That's how it is. Maybe it got a little bit, yeah. So for added fun times, I would like to have a little game over. Someone will have to say game over my dead body. Because that's always fun. Ever since the first movie. This happened again. And after I'm dead, and after they said game over, I would like the twist to happen. A detective on his way to find my missing self from 2 weeks ago finds my body and then recording a record player. I don't know. Something is gonna start playing Hello Zep.mp3, and some stuff is gonna not be said. It's showing what the twist was. What'd you say? You're not cherishing your life enough, so I want to play a game.
Do you know the game Among Us? In Among Us, there's
One. What's it called again? Something.
Among Us. Stop talking about Among Us. Stop posting about Among Us.
Anyways, next up, Freddy Krueger, bitch. Freddy Krueger is a funny guy. He's a really funny guy. A fun and funny guy. He can give you one hell of a nightmare. If you get hurt in the dream, you get hurt in real life. If you die in the dream, you die for real. There's stuff about boiler rooms. There's always something to do with teens. And he likes taunting you. Specifically for things that are related to you. Or, he just gives one last taunt before killing you. Like the classic, "Welcome to primetime, bitch!" That's a classic. I bet he likes Sword Art Online. You die in the game? You die for real? Oh no. I think after this one I kinda... Yeah, I didn't write anything. Exit full screen. How would I like to die? Okay. I am in the dream world. Boiler room. What would I be doing? Am I streaming? Am I at work? I'm at work. This sucks. I'm at work. Because I have to hate the situation, right? Because it always has to do with your nightmares. I'm at work. At work. Let's say... I guess I'll just say it. I work at did I just say hospitality industry? Okay. Let's say I'll just work at the hospitality industry, for example. I would probably get lost somehow, winding up at, for some reason, the boiler room of the area where I work. No, that's kind of boring. It should be more fun. Let's say... do I have friends in this situation? Let's say I have some friends and we're all having nightmares. I am... Me and my friends are all having nightmares. This is great. How about like Catherine? I like the game Catherine. That has nightmares too. But that has nothing to do with Freddy Krueger. Okay, let's break this down. Freddy appears in a dream. There's always like a sequence of events. Freddy appears to you in your dream. He causes some nightmares. He causes some daymares too. And your friends start having some nightmares as well. And then you get slightly hurt in the dreams. And these dreams escalate. The dreams have to do with your worries. And then it escalates so much that you don't want to go to sleep anymore. But it just happens. And then the big kill happens. Like in the first movie, he turns Johnny Depp in his debut role into a bloody pulp, which is sput out from a hole inside his bed. Basically, his powers grew so big that he influences the real world now. Then again, some really weird stuff happens in that movie as well. Like in the end, that's the movie where the school bus turns into a nightmare school bus and just takes the kids to hell or something, right? That's something. And the third one is the sequel to that with the same main character. Sort of. So nightmares. I don't really know how to finish this one. Would be funny. Nightmare. Nightmare. Boiler room? Nightmare. Well, that's tough. I should do something. Let's see what else he did. I do have prepared the villains wiki. Let's get some inspiration, maybe. Villains wiki. The fucking villains wiki, yeah. Freddy Krueger. The original one. Oh yeah, the remake kind of... that sucked. Welcome to my world, bitch. Combustion. Oh yeah. Right. He has this ability, combustion, mostly because, well, he died in fire. He died in a fire before becoming this dream nightmare traveling ghost spirit nightmare thing. The bastard son of 100 maniacs? I don't remember that. The one who cannot be, what, killed? Okay. The Dream Master. Super Freddy? When did they call him Super Freddy? I don't remember that. Oh yeah, Dream Demon. That makes more sense. Dream Demon. Okay, so omnipotent on their superhuman strength, superhuman durability, combatant. Oh yeah, he actually is a skilled combatant. In the movie, Freddy versus Jason, he has some crazy, like, martial arts moves. I think he just climbs over Jason and does some fucking MMA stuff on him. That was insane. That or on a different character. I remember that happening. Elasticity. Yeah, since he's like basically on a nightmare demon, he can do whatever the hell he wants. He basically becomes elastic like a cartoon character. Pyrokinesis, fire manipulation, possession, duplication, intelligence, enhanced agility, precognition when reading minds. I did not remember him reading minds. This might happen. I think this happens also in the Freddy vs. Jason one. Excuse me. Size manipulation, that's in Dreams. Oh yeah, I just remembered. There was the Toon Force, basically Toon Force. In the movie, there was the fourth one. It's not exactly the fourth movie. It was called Wes Craven's New Nightmare. In Wes Craven's New Nightmare, Freddy goes out of the movie and attacks the actors playing in the movie. So his own actor, Robert Englund, and the main character, the main girl in the first movie and the third movie, which comes back. He just goes to them and just nightmare attacks them in real life, and it becomes like a huge demon worm IRL. That was insane. That was fun. That was like the official ending before, I think, a different movie or something. I don't remember. I don't think an official movie after that came out besides the remake, which sucked. Victor Crowley? Oh yeah, that. Okay, so let's see some kills, I guess. Child's Play on Elm Street. Child's Play? Wait, Child's Play is Chucky. There was a crossover? When? Chucky would end up in the home of a child of a living on Elm Street. Eventually goes to sleep and meets Freddy. They begin liking each other, but realize that Elm Street isn't big enough for the both of them. Who can kill the most teenagers before the sun comes up? What is this? When did this happen? It's a pitch? It's not real? This sucks. Well, okay. It's a cute premise. I won't call myself a fan of Chucky. I only watched the first movie, which was, I liked it. But my buddy, who I watched movies with, horror movies, he didn't like the character. Yeah, it sounds like a pretty fun movie, to be honest. Maybe they didn't want it because it shows like a kid actually killing teens or something. Slasher? Is that a name of a movie? They called it Slasher? No, it's just... Oh, okay. But you... Oh, okay. Yeah, they don't really have those. And well, they sort of do have them. It just depends on what you want to see. There's the new Blumhouse films, which I guess you could call horror slop. But some of them are decent. Serious? I guess since they had... could you attune that to... maybe Scream? Since Scream was really the first one that started using big names. Like actual actors. In those? You don't have the guy running around yelling, "Welcome to the primetime, bitch!" anymore. True. They did have like a fun one in the early 2000s, which was basically, well, just a Freddy knockoff, but different. It was like a pizza delivery teen or something, and he put on like this. I don't know if I can find it. Slasher film with... I don't even know how to look it up. No, I don't know. Early 2000s slasher films. The new Evil Dead kind of shows what I mean. The early movies, except the first one, are pretty mindless fun. The new ones are cool, but it's just serious gore stuff mostly. Yeah, I think they just put an emphasis on like actual gore, like very gorific stuff these days. What else can they do? They can't really compete with the big names that keep pumping things out. They either have to be very unique and get a name for themselves, or just rely on the gore. Are they even big names? The only big names are the big names from the 80s and the 70s. Like Jason, Freddy. Freddy doesn't get any... No, Freddy doesn't get any movies anymore. Jason doesn't get any movies anymore. Most big names are pretty small in the grand scheme. Halloween still pumps stuff out. And now, I don't know if they can actually do any more stuff after that. Scream was pretty fun. I actually did watch the last one. I think they did it justice, if I could say that. Could you call Scream a deconstruction of the horror movie genre? If we could. I don't know what it was, but I saw what it was like, but I saw Ghostface run around with a shotgun. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one I told you about, Ghostface having like actual armor beneath his robes. Because these things always happen in current year of the movie releasing. So there was the one in the 2000, well, I think they were all in the 2000s, honestly. But like the newest one takes place current age, so Scream was deconstructing. Yeah, in a way it was deconstructing, because the first one they do like, yeah, we have a slasher film, but wait, it's not exactly a slasher film. It is a slasher film, but it's just two teens enacting what they saw in slasher films. They're actively mocking. They do mock horror tropes a lot. And then they put a twist on that stuff. And every time there's like a new twist that basically plays on the tropes. Why do people always run upstairs when being chased by a killer? It's dumb. Yeah, and then they give like an actual reason for that. Or like, yeah, there's the one where I think they call the one of the killed people in like either the second, I think it was the second movie or third one. They called her like a dumb bimbo or something, but she was blonde, but she was actually smart, but she still ran upstairs. I think it's that one. Then have Cindy immediately run up the stairs when being... Yeah, exactly. That's... Yep. They do that. And then they follow some more tropes, like when it comes to like when the period of the movie being released or the sequence in which it is released. So for example, the third movie, they follow the rules from trilogies, or the latest one follows the fad of like half reboots, I don't know what they call those, like half reboots, like the movie gets revived in current age but still has old characters coming in and new characters to fill in the blanks. Like how it goes like, you can't kill me, I'm gay, but that was too much on the nose. Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, so yeah, that's why I really like the new one. They actually basically they deconstructed the half reboot thing we have these days, and I think they did it really well. And it was just a good movie, I think. A good Scream movie specifically. Which is funny, because in universe, they're already at like Scream Stab 8, I guess. They call it Stab in universe. They call it Stab 8. Like the in-universe movies are way ahead of what we currently have. But they also simulate what could have been. In a sort of mocking way, in a way, I would say. But still somewhat realistic. So yeah. Man. Scream. And you know, I actually did recently watch The Descent, finally. I have not watched... Yeah, stab. I have not watched Descent like until now. Oh yeah, you can't see it. I only wanted to watch this. Hold on, let me move the chat. Wait, I can move it. Why doesn't it move? Only wanted to watch this because of this scene specifically. Yeah, horror movies are fun, but it depends on who you are. You can't stand gore. I mean, I am also bad with gore, but you know, I just go ah, and then like I bear it anyway. It's like, it's part of the fun. It can't be helped. You can't just not see it there. Bad things happen. Evil Dead because it did seem somewhat fun here and there. What, you mean Evil Dead 1? I did not watch Evil Dead 1. I only watched the second one because that's what people said is the good one. And I really liked it. But I saw them place a grater next to a leg in the trailer. Oh, you mean there's the new one? And add a drill to the eyes. Yeah, nah, I don't want to see that after all. I see. I didn't even know they came up with a new one. Is Ash even still in there? New Evil Dead. Excuse me. Evil Dead Rise. Oh! Whoa, sorry. Didn't mean to shout. I've seen this poster. Ash won't make Evil Dead anymore. Well, I mean, it makes sense. He can't just keep carrying the franchise on his back. Doesn't it not even make any sense? Like after... Didn't he get transported to another world at the end of Evil Dead 2? And then they had, what's it called? Ash... Like in a sort of medieval world? Had 2 cool replacements. Okay. Yeah, Dark Army. Dark... Yeah, so... Didn't this take place after Evil Dead 2? Army of Darkness. That's the 3rd movie. Yeah. I would say, Bunkum, they are more horror funny. I guess mostly because of... Maybe it's the way it's presented. Well... And then they rebooted it, but the reboots are more based on the first movie. Yes, I heard, and that's kind of why they didn't amass new viewers or fans, because it's not what the fans wanted to see. Because fans wanted to see Evil Dead 2, not Evil Dead 1 again. No, I'm not saying it's bad either. I'm just saying I didn't watch it. I didn't get to watch it. I guess I could try watching them. I'm not averse to the idea. So, horror scary. I would say it's kind of horror scary. Well, basically, the situations are kind of insane. Think about it like the Necronomicon is real and it makes things happen. And those things are kind of insane. Like demons get summoned. Ash loses his hand, replaces his hand with a chainsaw, goes crazy, goes like on a barbarian rampage, kills everyone, but not everyone, like just the demons. Then he tries to fight the Necronomicon, and things happen, and bam, now the movie ends. An average Tuesday for me. Yeah. It's just a shame because they really put a lot of effort into that. You mean the new film or the reboot of Evil Dead? Because if they really did put a lot of effort, like you said, then I would like to watch it. Tommy Pistol? This guy's name is Tommy Pistol? The Descent. So yeah, I would really wanted to watch this, the Descent, only purely because of this scene. Because this girl is kind of iconic. She's just rising from a little, like, not a lake or a river. Not a pool. Oh, I guess you could just call it a pool of blood and remains of people. The soup, yeah, the little goopy soup of blood and farce and such. I wonder, did you watch The Descent? Well, I already said I watched it. It was... This movie, this film, it was kind of, I would say, well, I don't want to call it annoying. It's just the characters in it are kind of, well, some of them are kind of annoying, I guess. Or maybe the things that they, well, it's just the ending specifically that I didn't like. Let's say something happens in the movie. I don't want to spoil it for you, so I'm just going to say it vaguely as I can, as vaguely as I can. A character accidentally does something to another character. Really, purely by mistake. Like on instinct. Something happens. And then that character that got hurt snitches to the main character. Well, I guess though. I don't know how you can call those characters main characters. It's like a group of between 6 to 8 women, and they all go hiking into like a mountain. So I would say there are main 2 girls, like the one girl which went through a trauma, and the other girl which sort of saw this happen. They can hike on these. Yep. Yeah. So, well, I'm just gonna keep it short. I didn't like the whole snitching part because it was a purely accidental thing that happened, and then it affected the ending in a way I really didn't like, because I liked the character, well, one of the characters that were the mains, and then she got stitches because she got snitched on, and that kind of sucked, but that's okay, I guess. Things happen. Not exactly a cabin fever moment. Cave fever? No, it's something else. Hellraiser. Man, Hellraiser is cool. I would love to die in a Hellraiser movie. Have you seen As Above, So Below? I don't think I did. Or have I? Oh, I think I planned on watching it, but then I ended up not watching it. They made the Hellraiser dude chaotic neutral. They made the Hellraiser dud? What do you mean? They made him evil. Oh, you mean like in one of the last films? Or there were 3, right? Okay, there were a lot more. How many are? 3 Bloodline Inferno? What? Oh, okay, no worries. I don't remember them having so many films. Judgment, Revelations? I don't think I watched these. I only think like I watched like 3. Basically, I mentioned on my stream how Pinhead seemed like a very chaotic, neutral person. Yes, like in a way, I agree. So they made him just pure evil. Control the world in the later movies. And being a force of nature was so much better. I see. I understand where you're coming from. The way I saw it was like the movie, the film series is the epitome of curiosity killed the cat. And it's purely that. You find this little puzzle that belongs to the Hellraiser dude. Pinhead. Who you calling Pinhead? Him. And you solve it because you're curious about it. And instead of getting Yu-Gi-Oh powers of being the king of games, you just get... That's Pinhead. And instead of, yeah, so you just get hell raised. You get visited by the demon of suffering is fun, suffering is pleasure. Such a waste of good suffering. And then he just proceeds to have you suffer somehow. I remember him, wasn't there like a, I remember like in the third, they could have easily built more on the cube. They could have, yes. They could have. Did you watch, I wonder if you watched A Cabin in the Woods? And if you disliked it. I liked the movie. Could you call it also a deconstruction of the horror movie genre in particular? You saw a synopsis? Oh, okay. Being a puzzle that kills you is stupid. We should have watched it too, because it looks like something. Yeah, I think you would enjoy it. Like, if you enjoy horror movies, even the concept of horror movies is like, it's represented there. Basically, they go through like tropes and they give reason to those tropes existing in a way. And then things happen and you see a lot of stuff. I don't want to spoil it in case you actually do want to watch it, but I liked it a lot. I really wished they have, when they went to that ominous room with the ominous objects that cause ominous things to happen and kickstart the whole horror operation. The kids defeating Ringo and the man going, those fucking kids. Wait, you mean Ringu? You mean in the end when they had in the Japanese school? The horror operation in Japan? That was a fun one. I really like that bit. These they just solved it. It's kind of it's funny. I guess it's also kind of like a game concept. The game can be solved. People can win. Yeah, I liked it a lot. It was a great one. And like they could do more. I think they could do more, but I guess they won't. Because you saw there was like a reason. There's like an eldritch being deep within the bowels of the earth that wants these things to happen. So they could expand on that. I really like the little, like, almost a pinhead look-alike thing that they had there. Excuse me. Oh, do you guys remember the faculty? That was a fun one. The Faculty was a movie about a bunch of kids. Ah, there's what's his name? Frodo Baggins. A bunch of kids, and they basically go through a sort of Among Us situation, but the Among Us is not within the kids, it's within the school faculty. And instead of killing, well, I guess not exactly instead of, I guess it's sort of, it's more like in more like a The Thing situation. Yeah, so yeah, there's like this being, maybe I won't spoil it for you, or everything shows it. Well, there's this being that starts controlling. Yeah, so yeah, it's more like The Thing rather than Among Us. In Among Us, stop talking about Among Us. In Among Us, there's the guy, the imposter, and then he kills people, and that's his job. In The Thing, in The Thing, it's a thing that, yeah, it's, don't look at it. In The Thing, it's a thing that spreads from person to person, making more people like it, aiming to be like it's kind of like a plague. Only it's a biological. Well, I guess plagues are biological. It assimilates people into its hive mind, sort of. So the faculty is similar in that regard. I don't think a head should have legs. You should play Persona and get the Persona Mara. Mara. The peen chariot. The dog chariot. Green peen. The green peen demon. You're gonna love that, trust me. Wait, there's another one? Where? They censored it? No way. Where? Where? Not in Persona 3 Remake? Mara? Because in Persona 5 it wasn't censored. A weird hat now for the censorship laws. Persona 5 Mara. See, it's perfectly fine in 5. A fourth picture? Oh, the phone game. It's the phone game, right? I want a Giphy fucking hat. Why even put him in if you can't have the tip? Just the tip, dude. Just the tip. Well, that's kind of funny. It would have been funnier if they had like some sort of physical sensor bars, like the rings of Pluto or something floating around. Be like tongue in cheek. Like, hey, you put it like a sensor bar. That'd be pretty funny. At least it's not a mosaic sensor. That would just be weird. Little hat. I didn't know they had so many Hellraisers. I really like the third one. The one where the guy, they put a camera in his head and he just became a psi... What do they call them? Not Cybots. Something. Wait. Hellraiser is based on a book? By Clive Barker? The third volume of its Night Visions anthology series? Cenobites. The Lemerkand configuration which can be used to summon the Cenobites. Demonic beings who do not distinguish between pain and pleasure. He escapes the Cenobites and, with the help, resorts to murder to restore himself to full life. Later on, the puzzle box is found by another person. In Düsseldorf? Huh. That's interesting. I didn't know they had books. The only thing I'm familiar with from Clive Barker is Clive Barker's Jericho, which is a sort of horror FPS game, which released on the PS Triple back in the day. Cenobites. Fictional, extra-dimensional, seemingly demonic beings who appear in the works of Clive Barker. Wait, so would they appear in Jericho too? Hellraiser comic books published between 1987 to 2017. Wow. So yeah. It would be funny, like, if a Cenobite killed me, and, you know, remember how the PSP had this thing where it would eject the game disc you're carrying? Not you're carrying, the one that's in the PSP itself. I used to joke about that a lot back in the day. Someone made a mod for Half-Life 2, which had Gordon use a PSP in first person, and just push a button. It would shoot the PSP disc out of the PSP, like as an attack. A projectile. And then he would just reload another disc to shoot. It would be funny if, like, they punched this PSP through my head, and then I had a PSP head, and then I could just use it to shoot projectiles at people as a Cenobite. Like a gaming Cenobite. Imagine like AVGN fully equipped. Imagine like the AVGN as a Cenobite. Like this thing on his head. The power glove. The gun. And they would just like be demonic. That's kind of how I want to die. And become a Cenobite. That'd be fun. I guess you can add that to the list. And while we're at it... Oh, wait. I'll have to generate an AI image for that. So, yeah. What else is there? Big movies. Big movies. Horror movie... Villains. Leatherface. Leatherface... Well, you know, I thought I'd just maybe talk about Ghostface instead. Well, in terms of the fun factor, Leatherface also kind of lacks, I believe. He only knows a few things, which are basically hit you with a hammer, hang you up on a meat hook, chainsaw dance, and take your face off. That's what he does. So there's not much room to have fun with him. It is a fun movie though. I like the first and the second movie are the best in my opinion. I guess a lot of people would say that though. I believe I did watch the new ones, or at least some of them. They just weren't that interesting. The sharks. Ghostface, I suppose would fall in the whole. Also, this is just the setup. Basically, the guys in the Scream series, they plan these things for like a few months, then they start doing the killings. It's kind of like fighting horror movie Batman in a way, only without the martial arts prowess. What is this? Vampires. I do want to watch what do they call it? The Candyman? Oh, there's a 2021 one? I haven't watched it. I don't even know what it's about. I just know it's a guy that has a cane. I guess that's that. Alright. Go back to the presentation. Oh yeah. I wanted to talk about horror movie basements. So, horror movie basements. One of the best slides here. Horror movie basements always have something going on in them. Like, what I do like is when some paranormal things happen. And things that shouldn't be happening in real life, but they happen anyways. For example, I don't remember which horror movie it was. But the basement staircase sort of became this goopy thing when the character tried climbing up the stairs to escape the basement. The character's leg just like quicksand, drowned in the step itself. Kind of like a Harry Potter bit, I guess. And she just got trapped in there. So this could be fun. So yeah, ideally, just lots of things like that would happen. I guess I should just make more for next time. So yeah, thank you for watching. Let me see if there's anyone to raid. Hold on. Twitch.tv. Who's up? But Olga's up. Okay. She's drawing some stuff. Okay, let's have some. Let's I'll go visit her, I guess. Oh, thank you. You liked it when I talked about Amogus? Stop talking about Amogus. I don't really have a good raid message. Oh wait, actually I do, sort of. If you guys want to take that and paste it in her chat, that's possible. Now, raid. That's how it's done, right? Let's see. 4, 3, 2, 1. See you next time. Ace B Caswell, over and out.